For this candy experiment, we're comparing gummy bears to gummy worms. So for this experiment, it's sort of an experiment, it's sort of just a deep dive. I've got a picture of a gummy bear and a gummy worm together, frolicking, having a good time. So the basic concept is I think gummy bears and gummy worms, I know gummy bears were the original shape for gummy candy. So Haribo did a thing called circus bears, and they made these bears. They had really long arms and legs though, which is kind of weird. But bears were sort of, Haribo was the originator of the sort of gummy candy, and bears were the first shape. I feel like, you know, they're very old. You actually get a copy of Snack Facts, my book, and you can learn all about the history of gummy bears. But basically, they came out a long time ago, but didn't really become popular until the 80s. And I feel like gummy bears came first, but I think gummy worms went during the popularity and became very popular very quickly. So for a lot of us, gummy bears and gummy worms sort of came out first and were like the original, the OG sort of gummy candies. So the bears don't really make sense if you think about it. Like, why would a bear be made of jelly? A worm does make sense because it's kind of creepy and crawly and everything like that. So there's sort of logic to, like, the bear was just this creative idea. The worm is like more suited to the texture of gummies. But so I guess thematically, if we're going to talk about, start off thematically about this, I would say that gummy worms make more sense, even though the gummy bear is the classic, and Disney even managed to turn the gummy bear, make it make sense with the Gummy Bear show, which is actually based on gummy bears, the candy. So we'll say that right off the bat. Thematically, the worms make more sense because they're kind of creepy and wiggly and crawly, but is it a better gummy? So I've got a package of gummy bears. I've got a package of gummy worms, and I'm just going to taste test them and see sort of, which one seems better. So I'm going to start off with the gummy bears. I've got a little package here, and so I mean, we're talking classic gummy bears. So this is like the classic gummy bear size. There are bigger and smaller ones, but I went with the sort of traditional one, and it's small. It's kind of cute. It's easy. You can get a whole bunch in your mouth if you want, or you can just choose sort of one little one. So it's like a little bite-sized morsel. It's okay. Why is bubblegum pink? How old is ice cream? Where does the word lollipop come from? Join Sir Francis Sweetums and his companion Barbara as they learn fun facts about the history of many fun snacks. Learn all about the snacks you love by picking up Snack Facts, available on Amazon or at candycritic.org. Now let's get a gummy worm here. So again, this is more proof. This is kind of the wriggliness. This is more like a worm should be, whereas the bear was nothing like eating a bear, I imagine. So, same texture. I'll say from a texture, we'll start with texture. Satisfaction-wise, the worm has a little bit more. You just got to fight with it a little bit more. It's a little grosser, because it actually, again, it feels like a real worm could be. Whereas, when you're thinking bears, like your brain isn't there, so it's like you just think it's a gummy candy. Whereas when you think of a worm, you think, well, that actually kind of felt like what I would imagine eating a worm was like. Never actually eaten a worm in my life, but that's what I would imagine it's like. So, but there's something kind of satisfying. You really got to kind of rip into the gummy worm. Whereas the gummy bear is, since it's smaller, it's sort of a bit of a dainty chew, is a good way to describe it. The way they look, here, I'll just post pictures. So gummy bears are kind of cute and they're kind of adorable. They're, they're fine. They look cool. Gummy worms, the interesting thing about those is you'll notice there's two colors. Most of the time with most gummy worms, it's two colors. So that's kind of an interesting bonus. The fun thing about gummy bears, though, is you can Frankenstein them where you cut their heads off and you can add different colors. So it's almost like a little bit more of a toy. Gummy worms, since they're already two colored, you can't really do that too much. And again, so there's not really that play value to it. So for like the aesthetics look, I would actually go gummy bears are a little bit better. Flavor-wise, I think I'm going to go gummy bears again. And the reason why is because gummy bears each have their individual flavor, whereas worms have two flavors notionally in them. And I kind of like the idea of being able to mix your own flavor combinations. It's sort of like what Jelly Belly prides itself on, is the idea that it can sort of do all of these different flavor combinations. You can sort of eat a green and a red one and get those two flavors. So I think if I was to just, based on this, and I didn't research this at all other than what I know about gummy candies, I would say that gummy bears are better than gummy worms, but by a tiny margin, because they both taste great. They both are fun and squishy. The worms are a little grosser, whereas the bears are kind of more cute and fun. So just because of the little fun factor, I would actually have to go gummy bears as being sort of my choice of the better sort of OG gummy. But let me know in the comments. Maybe you have a different opinion or you can add to it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can go to candycritic.org to find links to everything from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. You can also read well over 1,000 candy reviews, with new ones coming all the time. Candycritic.org also has links to pick up my latest books, as well as some cool candy-themed merchandise.